Welcome to our last poolside chat of the festival.
The screenwriting gurus, like those Robert McKee guys, and those guys who wrote those books.
And these books seem to be found a way to give the people that were good at math, a way to write scripts, which to me I find insulting. You know, that it is about hitting something at a certain page number. And, you know, I mean, they don't, not that a book can teach you about writing, but it just kind of, that's what kind of sickens me. Like, they're very structure oriented, and I've always said, like, you know, when you read a book about screenwriting that says it's got to have good structure, it's like reading a book about horseback riding saying you need a horse. You know,
the worst stuff I've ever heard is hanging out. You know, I have from time to time written in coffee shops, and you'll hear people talking about that world with such venom and such derision. And if you listen long enough, you'll find out that 9 times out of 10, they don't actually work in it yet. They've just read a lot of stuff and listened to a lot of people like us complain, so they feel like.
That's great.
Is that?
Yeah, no, that's a great statement, because, you know, because everybody knows the rants now, but they don't know the joy of actually finishing something. You know,
somebody talked about how they just read this book. There'd be a good movie, The Stranger by Albert Camus.
Camus is always a good one. Yeah,
and you're just sitting there like, am I going to be a dick? And like, so I just said, yeah, I love Camus. You know, I mean, if you're going to whore out, go all the way. You know.
You know, being an actor is like years of, you just get used to humiliation of like top 10, you know, the director that I idolized as a kid who said to me during my audition, "Who sent you here?" That was not a good one. And the producer that I had to say, "You understand that I'm playing a prostitute. I'm not a prostitute."
Wow.
Which is always a bad thing when you have to say that to your producer.
Well, no disrespect to the original screenwriter, who was a very, very nice Mormon fella, never actually did drugs, but in the original script it was Jerry shoots up and gets the munchies. Which, for all you junkies in the audience, you know, doesn't really. And I say that with respect, because God bless him. Yes. Really, you know.
Yeah, you learn a way to read those things. I'm just like, I mean, the one review that I always will get, I'm going to put it on my tombstone, is he didn't decide whether he wanted to make a comedy or a drama. And, like, they got to stop using that line. You know, it's just ridiculous.
Why don't you just write a comedy?
Mine is quirky. Illeana Douglas brings her quirky sensibility to the role. The other one is I'm the thinking man's sex symbol. Like, I don't know. Like, I know that that's an insult in some way.
My device I always give to people, we say all these horrible things, but my thing is stop reading the trades and stay naive, because, like, in the words of Bob Seger, if I didn't know now what I didn't know then, my writing would be a lot better, because I find once you hear too many of these stories, you never think about writing something original. You think, oh no, nobody's going to make this movie, nobody's going to do this, but even though we're 90% right when we say these things, write it anyway, and, you know, because that's how an interesting movie gets made.